All right, I'm live. I'm live on YouTube. Um, Let me get connected on Facebook, YouTube, while our audience builds up. So you all come on in. If you have any questions, right, just comment. This is not going to be a very lengthy video message because I am tired, right? I'm really tired in a good way, you know. Um, just exhausting my energy. So let me get live on Facebook, right? So if you have any questions on YouTube, go ahead and tune in now. Say hello. Give me your name. Hello, Josh. Hello, Josh. Let me know what city and state you're from. Right. I'm going to really cover today what really causes bad debt, right? What really causes, bad credit. I hope I put that in the description, right? What really causes bad credit. So when you're coming in, say hello. Take time to speak. Show some digital love as well. Type in what city, Houston, Texas, Josh. Actually, Josh, as soon as I log off this, I'm getting started on your credit. So I'm getting started on your credit. Let me get live on Facebook. And we're talking about how the Bible teaches good and bad debt. I made some posts on Facebook about this. A lot of people disagree, and that's fine. That's fine. Everybody has an input and an opinion, right? It's our right to have that in America. Hello, Jamel Page, Columbia, South Carolina. Jamel, were you trying to give me? Didn't you contact me about doing a conference in South Carolina? Because I get people from all of the 50 states to contact me. So I don't have my prompt for Facebook, so I'm on Facebook and YouTube, so I don't have my prompt for Facebook, so I'm waiting to Facebook build up, but my YouTube audience is here. You all are gonna have to excuse me. I don't have I'm on both of my Apple products, so I don't have my screensaver on. I'm not doing like a PowerPoint. I just took out the time to do my little doesn't look too good handwriting on this board, but I want to get the message across, right? I know it looks like my handwriting is not that neat, but I want to get the message across, right? I coach, so I'm oftentimes just used to writing. Show me some digital love. Hit the heart button. Hit the thumbs up button, right? Show some digital love. Okay, you did text me earlier about credit. Okay, you should, but hey, forgive me. You won't believe how many people text me today about credit. I get a lot of text messages. And while I'm speaking on this subject, I also get people that want to know, hey, can I call you? Can I meet somewhere? Not until you follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Not until, you send me your credit report. You've done what I asked you to do. And I know sometimes people just want to put a voice with a face or a name, the person that, but you wouldn't believe how many requests I get. Can I meet you somewhere? Can we talk? No, I can't. If I did that for everybody, I would never get my paid clients work done, right? If I met everybody, can I meet you somewhere? And that's usually local. Of course, my out-of-state people don't want to meet, but a lot of times they'll want to call me. And let me put this out here too. I don't do phone calls about credit on Sundays. This is my day to worship, spend time with the Lord, and spend time with my family, right? Please don't call me on a Sunday. If I text you on a Sunday, then you can text me, but please give me Sundays to my family and to God, right? To worship and spend time with my family and to just have some time so I can get mentally prepared to get your credit reports as you need it. So let's jump right into this. Again, I'm not going to be long. This is not going to be long. what really was the root cause, right, of bad credit. Look, your credit score, this is how I calculate it. Be careful with what, Gerald? He said be careful. This is how your credit score is calculated. 35% of payment history, 35% of the amount owed, 15% of your length of history, 10% of inquiries or new credit, and 10% of the types of credit. So I'm going to address the 30% right here, the amount owed, right? The 30%. This is what you don't hear. Not even in most credit or even financial seminars or workshop. You don't really get that question answered. How do I take care of this 30%? The amount owed. And I was having this discussion today, and I'm telling people, you cannot budget broke. You cannot budget broke, right? Some years ago, this book came out, The Automated Millionaire, and it talked about the latte factor. Then you have like Dave Ramsey who talks about a budget. Look, I'm not saying that the very first thing people should do is to, number one, recognize where their money is going. Recognize where your money is going. Recognize if you have a habit, a spending habit that you can downsize to save you more money. But, and I'm coming from a biblical perspective tonight. 2 Kings chapter 4, Elijah and the widow woman. When this widow woman came to Elijah, right, and said, hey, my husband is dead. I'm broke. I don't have money. I don't have money. I'm broke. I don't have enough money. Elijah did not look at the widow woman and say, create a budget. Right? You cannot budget broke. Some people, everybody's not going to Starbucks because they can't afford Starbucks. They can't even afford a movie night out with their families. Everybody's not spending their money. Thank you for the digital love, Facebook. I'm getting my hearts and my thumbs up. They are broke. They don't have the money. I mean, we're 2019 and people are fighting for $15 minimum wage. And you see $3 plus gas prices. And it's called inflation. And prices are rising. Even though homes, the interest rate is lower, the price of a home over the long term is rising, is increasing. All your goods and services are increasing, but your pay is staying the same. So these are biblical principles from the Bible. Elijah did not look at this widow woman and say, create a budget first. He looked at this woman and said, I want you to use your credit to create cash flow. Use your creditable name. Your husband is dead. Thank you so much. Your husband has died. Now, this is how the Bible talks about good debt and borrowing versus what bad debt is. A lot of times, thank you so much for the digital love, Facebook. It's just showing me so much digital love. A lot of times, we take that one scripture in the Bible, right? Owe no man nothing but to love him. And debt. And we take that as the Bible says not to get. Now, I'm going to show you just this one scripture where this widow woman was in bad debt. She said her husband had died and left the family with bad debt. 2 Kings chapter 4. And if she didn't repay this debt, her sons would be sold as slaves. Right? This was not uncommon. This was common in the days in the Bible. This is how you pay back your bad debt. Bad debt is anything that you have purchased with your name or creditable services and you cannot repay back, and it causes you money and is not making you money. But Elijah said, okay, we're going to flip the script on this, right? You're in bad debt. Thank you for the digital love. Now let me show you how to flip this thing, flip the script, and use your credit, your creditable name, and now borrow to increase your cash flow. See, people have never been given this concept that you can use credit cards to purchase assets. Things in credit cards, they have convenience checks. I'm trying to see if I have some here. They come with convenience checks. And if you have great enough credit card, a 720 credit score, thank you for the digital love, you can get others people money at 0% interest rate for a times period. So he said, this is what I want to do. I'm going to take you out of bad debt. The same method you used to get in bad debt, which was borrowing. I'm going to take that same method, flip the script, and now you're going to borrow, but you're going to borrow now to gain assets, not things that hold no value. You're going to borrow pots, and you're going to borrow a lot of them. Not a few, but you're going to borrow a lot. And when you borrow these pots, I'm going to show you how to take these pots and to take your sons who were about to be sold to work for someone else. Thank you for the digital love. Thank you for the, and now I'm going to show you how to have your sons to work for you in a family-based, home-based business. I'm translating this to 2019 terminology. I'm going to take the thing, I'm going to flip the script that was going to enslave you, and now I'm going to use that same strategy to set you free financially. So she used her credit. Her payment history was already bad. And now borrow what? Well, I had a question. Bruno, borrow what? When you get good credit, you can borrow money from your credit cards. When you get a high enough credit score. Now, she didn't have a plastic credit card to go out and swipe and get those vessels with. She had a creditable name, so she went out and borrowed pots. And Elijah, he didn't tell her to create a budget. I'm going to say this again. Because you can't budget broke. He said, I'm going to show you how to make more money. To make more money to pay off your bad debts. And see, the only way to do that, the only way to increase your paycheck is to add a business in your portfolio. The only way to find $200 to $600 more out of your paycheck to pay this 30%, to pay down debt like the widow woman did, is you have to have the home-based business model that I'm in or affiliated with. Yeah, Pop Brunos. Thank you for the digital love. And you know why most people are in debt? Because they are in negative cash flow. And which affects now 35% of payment history, because now they don't pay on time. They pay late. And they get hit 3 ways. Now you have a late payment on your credit report. Now you have higher interest rates. And now you have late payment fees on top of that. Because you have negative cash flow and no one is teaching in financial literacy. Even Dave Ramsey, he doesn't teach it. I don't agree with his philosophy. No one is teaching, very few people are teaching how to increase your cash flow. And it starts first with your paycheck, and you have to implement a business because employees only get 15 tax deductions. And once you implement this business model or this business kit, you get over 475. Once you get more money out of your paycheck, your take-home pay, now you pay less in taxes. And now you have leveraged your tax. You say, well, Susan Orman doesn't teach this either. Thank you. Actually, Susan Orman actually teaches people, Bruno, that once a negative item is on your credit report, that it stays on there. And I love Facebook. They are asking me questions. You know my YouTube audience asks questions, but YouTube is not asking questions tonight. Facebook says, what if you already have a business? Marilyn, if you already have a business, then I hope that business is teaching you. Matter of fact, let me get my book. Hold on. Mm-hmm. I hope that business is teaching you your tax deductions that's allocated to you as a business owner. I hope that business is teaching you what tax deductions that you are supposed to have. Yeah, hello, Corey. Corey, where's your state? I'm on YouTube. This is one of the first people I started studying, Sandy Barkin, and say big on your taxes and the tax law, how to properly document any business deductions, so you never, don't have to worry about being audited, but all the advantages of tax deduction for home-based business owner, and get the $5,000 or more for starting up your own home-based business. If you're a part of, California, Maryland, if you're a part of your business, the business I'm a part with, they teach this financial education. Then if you're a part of a business, or you have a business and they're not teaching you how to exercise that, I would advise you to get a part of the business that I am. I teach and train you. It doesn't hurt you to have two businesses. It's even more tax deductible to you if you're just passionate about the business that you're in, because you're losing thousands of dollars possibly out of your paycheck from your job and from your tax deductions. And so Elijah helped this woman learn how to use credit to pay down that 30% amount owed, right? And that's the number one thing that's causing people to have bad credit. So with that being said, then you look at your payment history. Only 15% of your credit score is made up of the length of your credit history, but that's a big deal. Just know that when you apply for new credit, your average length of your payment history is affected, which means if you have 15 years, then applying for new credit may make that average fall down to 13 years, right? Not a real big deal, but just know that average will get lower. So when you apply for new credit, apply with the strategy, right? Why do I want this $15,000 PenFed card? What asset will I purchase with it? What do I want to do with it? I have some people that contact me and say, hey, I want to get business credit, right? Which I do help with. And my second question to them, or reply to them, is for what? What business are you trying to invest in? Are you trying to open up a lawn service landscaping business where you're trying to purchase new John Deere's mowing equipment, or weed eaters, or whatever you need? Are you trying to do a bakery business from home where you bake products, and you sell them food out of your homes, and you do bakery products, or are you trying to do a car washing business, or do you want to do like me and just have a digital business that you're invested in, or you just want to have this home-based business model, which is only $34.95 a month, right? Cupcakes, thank you. Think out pastries. That's the name I was trying to think of, Bruno. Pastries. You're baking pastries, or strawberry dips, or whatever your desserts are. So what business, if you don't have a business model, I have a business for you, because it'll give you immediately money from your paycheck, and you combine both of them with a job. And then once you have this business idea that you want to invest in, and then you take your personal credit, like this woman did, Elijah woman in 2 Kings, you take your personal credit, you get the business credit. You know that American Express, for example, business credit offers 0% interest for 15 months. And then you use that money to cash produce, not to buy a new outfit, not to buy new shoes, not to go on your shopping spree, not to go on a vacation, right? And do you know that when you use credit cards, that there are rewards, travel reward points, cash reward points? So if you're going to make a purchase and you have the cash, if you have a good credit score, you can just leverage your good credit score and accumulate. Like someone I know have $80,000 of cash reward points. That equivalates to them $8,000 of cash just for using their credit card to make a purchase that they had cash for. And then they pay off that balance in full on that credit card at the end of the month. So I'm revisioning your thinking of how to use your credit, not to be a consumer, right? Not to be a consumer. And then I think people have this concept, well, the rich don't use credit. That's all the rich uses other people's money. Let me tell you, if one of my favorite authors, if you all saw how many books I had here, you would be just like, I think I really have a book buying problems. I buy more books, and all of them are finance. So let me find one of his books. I'm not gonna flip my screen before I even get an opportunity to read them. I might show you all some of my books. Let me show you real quick some of my most recent books that I purchased. But Robert Kiyosaki, I have probably every book that he's ever written, and one of the ones I'm reading now, why A students work for C students, Rich Kid, Smart Kid, right? And then this book that I'm reading, The Millionaire Next Door. So this book brings out that, for example, if a rich or wealthy person wants to invest in real estate, they will not put their money up front for their real estate. Because now, for some reason, if that investment, maybe they want to flip it and sell it, and it may go 3-4 months without being occupied or without being sold or being placed on the market. So now, if something goes wrong with that deal, then somebody else's money is tied up into it and not their own. Why do you think Donald Trump filed so many bankruptcies, right? He's not going to use his cash. They stash their cash into invest things that accumulates interest, right? And they use other people's money, which I mean credit, to make investment, because any type of investment is risky at some point. And that way, if something happens where that risk is plummeted, then that cash is still growing somewhere and it's growing interest. It's somebody else's money. Because I tell people all the time, you don't have to pay collections if you know how to make debt collectors or debt buyers validate that debt that you owe them. You have to ask yourself, how do I owe someone that I never did business with or provided me any services? And you should not pay charge-offs if that company has written that debt off as a loss for them so they can claim as a loss for their company's taxes. So if they have written the debt off as a loss, then ask yourself logical questions. How do I owe it? Or why should I owe it? You use that as a tax deduction for your business, right? But when you answer these questions, you still have to know the law and the strategies to be able to verbalize that in form of writing, right? To make the law work for you. The law does not work for you because you're knowledgeable of it. It works for you because you know how to put the law in writing and document that you know the law. You calling the collection companies or the original company that wrote off your debt, whining and complaining and threatening that you have an attorney, is not legal terms that you can bring in court and say, hey, I notified them. This is the paperwork in writing on this day, and I sent it certified mail. You have to have physical documentation, not going in court off a hearsay or a conversation that you have with them over the phone. And the same thing that creditor has to provide, physical documentation. They cannot come into court off a hearsay. They have to have a paper trail that they mailed you letters, that they inform you that you was aware, right, legally, for them to have any legal rights or grounds to stand on. They have to have legal documentation, physical documentation in your credit file to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion before they place anything on your credit report. And oftentimes they don't keep this paperwork or this documentation. They're highly unorganized. So I'm signing off. Also, 10% of your credit report is calculated by inquiries or new credit. So be careful when you're shopping and someone say, hey, if you apply for this card, you can get 10% off your purchase, and you know you have below a 620 credit score and you're going to get denied, because what happens is inquiries will stop you, prevent you from getting qualified for business credit and a new home and a mortgage. So, hey, The Bible does teach about good and bad debt. That's my example of Elijah and the widow woman and how she used her creditable name to get out of bad debt, and she flipped the script to get to cash flow. And they said this woman, as a result of following this financial advice, right, made enough money, her and her sons, to live off the rest. So this lady had a lifetime retirement plan because she used her credit to build a business and take advantage of business opportunities and income. Listen, with over 5,600 retail stores closing, you need to not only be tapped into a business for your job, for the tax deduction benefits, but you need to be tapped into a business just as another stream of income, and use your credit. Credit is for people that don't have enough income, right? It's for people, and it's also for the rich and wealthy, right? And it's very powerful when used in a powerful way. So hey, thanks Facebook, thank you YouTube. I had to get to Josh and my new client Tamika. Where's Lord? Tamika's from up north. So I know I'm doing their credit things, affidavits here. So when I log off, so hey, hit like and hit share. Thank you for the thumbs up on YouTube. I enjoy. I was not expecting to go 26 minutes. I'm sorry this is so long, but I hope it was helpful to you. If you're watching the end there, hello, Mr. Hopper. Make sure you watch the beginning of the video, watch the replay. Some very, very helpful information I shared that will help you. Thank you so much, Jamel. You're on Facebook and YouTube. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You all hit like and hit share. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Joshua. Let me get to working on the work. I appreciate that. Let me log off of Facebook. And Joshua, let me get to the business of getting you that 720 credit score.